I'm still working on the full review of the Boox Tab Ultra C, which I hopefully can finish in the next couple of days. To not make that review any longer, I wanted to answer a couple of your frequently asked questions separately in this video. I categorized them as best as I could to make them as useful as possible for as many people as possible. So the first question was regarding display quality, ghosting, and refresh rate. How good are those? I'll answer this question in detail in the full Boox Tab Ultra C review. But to give you an overview, ghosting is still there. The refresh rate is great, much better than in Gallery 3, and image quality is good in general. Color rendition is a bit muted, especially in direct comparison to an iPad or something similar. In Gallery 3, on the other hand, is also more saturated, but much slower with more ghosting. But having said that, the colors on the Boox Tab Ultra C still look good on their own. They are a great addition to the typical black and white e-ink experience. Ghosting can be an issue depending on the content you're looking at and on your personal preference. I personally recommend refreshing the screen with every page turn when looking at comics or mangas. The next question was about the display's background. Do I feel like I need to use the Boox Tab Ultra C with the front light on? That's a clear yes. At least indoors, I feel like the display's background is too dim when not using the built-in light. It's far from unusable, but it's simply not very comfortable. Just turning up the front light a little makes all the difference. Most of the time, I use the front light with the maximum brightness setting, as I feel this gives me the best viewing experience. At night, I'll turn it down a bit and also change the color tone to a more orange setting. One question was about the writing feel. How is it? The display surface is smooth and there's no paper-like texture to it. It doesn't exactly feel like glass, as on an iPad or a regular Android tablet, but you don't get the paper-like writing feel you have on the Remarkable 2 or Kindle Scribe. I wouldn't say that's better or worse, it's simply different. One advantage of that smoother surface is that the pen tips last longer and don't need to be replaced as often. I also got a few questions about productivity. Is the Boox Tab Ultra C suitable for Microsoft Office apps, and how does it perform with Bluetooth keyboards? In short, yes, the Boox Tab Ultra C is suitable to use in a professional setting. Microsoft Office works very well, and Boox has optimized pen input for OneNote. It's not as perfect as working with the built-in note-taking app, but definitely not bad either. However, keep in mind that not all apps are optimized for low latency pen input. So if you intend to use other productivity apps that aren't as popular, chances are good that pen input is noticeably slower. There's also an official cover available that includes a built-in keyboard. While I'm not too keen on the rubbery feel of the artificial leather, I do like the integrated keyboard. Plus, it's quite handy when it comes to transportation due to its compact size. There's obviously a bit of latency when quickly typing on this or any other keyboard because of the ink screen, but in my opinion, it's not really an issue. A couple of questions were about battery life. How is it? Battery life of the Boox Tab Ultra C isn't especially good and definitely one of the weak spots in my opinion. It's not infuriatingly short, but shorter than on most other ink tablets. Even when using static content and more so when looking at fast-paced content with the ultra-fast refresh mode. Also, writing with the pen drains the battery quicker. But to be fair, that's true for pretty much all ink tablets with that capability. So I'd say it roughly lasts as long as a typical Android tablet. Next one. How about using the Boox Tab Ultra C as an external monitor? There's no built-in function for that, but you can use an app like Space Desk, which is the one that worked best for me. When connecting via USB, there's still a slight delay that's mostly noticeable when using the mouse, but it's very usable. Depending on the content, there's quite a bit of ghosting though. If you like to code or write a Word document or something like that, I recommend using a white background and not the dark mode with black background. That way ghosting isn't as bad and working with it works pretty well. And the last question is, How's the note-taking capability of the tablet, including handwriting recognition? I'll also go into more detail about this in another video because showing it all will simply take another 20 minutes or so. But all in all, note-taking works very well with many different functions like different pen types, shapes, layers, and even audio recordings. The added colors also make note-taking better in general for me as well. Handwriting conversion also works pretty well and also manages to convert list items accurately most of the time. It doesn't need an active internet connection, which is great. And you can take more complex notes with built-in app as well and export the notes as PDFs and in other formats. Okay, so that's it with the questions I got most in the past couple of weeks. Hopefully I was able to answer some of yours as well. I'll go into much more detail in my full review, so stay tuned for that. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you found this helpful. Thanks for your time watching and see you on the next one.